Welcome. This is the Prickly Stitch Podcast, Episode 7. My name is Haley. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Lockknits.
I am Sock or Katie, and you can find me everywhere on the internet as Misfit Sock.
This is a fiber fabric handcrafts podcast. Is that the bit? Fiber fabric handcrafts podcast from textiles from Northeast PA in the United States. You can find us also on Instagram at Prickly Stitch Podcast. All of the information that is relevant to anything will be down below. There you go.
Thanks for joining us.
We've had a busy, weekend.
Yeah. Doing
our respective tasks. I just got back from a tattoo convention in Pittsburgh, which just kicked my ass. I'm very tired, but there's a lot of good stuff happening in the next however many weeks, days, months. So we wanted to make sure that we were coming back to podcast. And we're going to be taking a break on our routine of every other week. So we're going to be coming back after this in 3 weeks, and we will tell you a little bit about why, because we have some very exciting travels that we're going to be doing together. But what did you do this past weekend?
I went to Maryland Sheep and Wool, the 50th annual.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that could be another reason it was so busy, which it was. It was like a sea of people, which is great for, the festival itself. Very scary.
Yeah.
If you're just me.
You're just you all by yourself. Yeah, I booked the tattoo convention and then immediately realized afterwards it was the same weekend as Maryland Sheep and Wool, which made me a little sad. But do you want to tell us a little bit about why you went there and your experience?
So I went there because I had plans to buy my first fleece and start my journey of processing a fleece for the first time, which is very exciting. And I feel very inspired by the fleece that I brought home and just by everything that happened at the festival, which was nice. I really needed that. I have not wanted to make anything lately. And it felt good to be in that environment. I will say, aside from my fleece, I did not buy any yarn at all.
That's good.
I just didn't need any. I had sort of I don't know, I would almost call it color blindness, but I was just looking at the yarn and I'm I don't know why I would buy any of this.
Right.
I just have such a supply at home, and I just got this this fleece, which I don't know if we're going to jump into talking about that right now.
Sure, we should.
All right, so I went and I had plans to meet Taylor Owen of the Thread to Mend podcast. She has been talking, if you have been watching her videos, she's been talking about meeting up with some people to split fleeces. I was one of those people. And because yarn people are yarn people, I don't think anybody split a fleece. I think we all just took home.
No, fleeces. None of them did?
I don't think so. I think maybe Taylor had split one of her fleeces with somebody. But it was nice to shop with people.
New people. All new people.
All new people. If you have never been in a fleece, the barn or the building that sells that, it is a literal frenzy. It's chaos. There's just bags upon bags that are open. Everybody's just grabbing and touching and you gotta kind of move fast, but it was a lot, and it was very sweet and kind to have somebody help guide me through the process. She actually picked out the fleece that I took home for me because she, with a more discerning eye, thought it would be good for me as a person who did not have much experience, and it's just beautiful. I took a silly bad video of inside the bag because they vacuum seal them. So I'll put that up so you could just see the color and the texture to some extent. But I brought home over 4 pounds of a Corriedale cross. I don't know what it's crossed with. It might say on the little tag that's deep in there. From a sheep named Churro.
Stop it.
Yeah. From a local to Maryland farm. I actually took a picture so I knew the farm name. The farm name is New Roots Farm, and it is from Maryland, West River, Maryland. I don't know. But yeah, it is Churro. But 4 pounds of fleece. I was talking to... Sorry, I thought you had a wasp. I was talking to Taylor, and I also met Tazzy of Stitches and Starlights. She was also there shopping in the group. And they were both saying that, and I assume they kept in mind that, like, I am not experienced and will probably waste some fleece. They said I would bring probably about 8 skeins of yarn.
Holy
from that.
shit.
So $117 for 4 pounds of fleece, and I should get about 8 skeins of yarn. And I'm assuming that they know I'll probably spin thick and lose some. So
that's fantastic.
Right? I'll hopefully have a whole sweater's quantity, which I'm super excited about. Very inspired by this whole thing.
Yeah.
And a great experience buying fleece for the first time.
That's sweet.
It was nice to have people who, like, made it less scary for me, you know?
And then after that, you got to meet up with Haley Ann and Lauren.
Yes, Haley, North River Knits for the internet. She lives in that area now, so she met up with me there that afternoon, and I got to see her, which is nice.
That's so nice.
Because she's so distant now.
I know. We all are all over now, you know?
But it's exciting because we're all going to be meeting up soon in a few weeks.
So let's talk about that. I want to have the details here. I should have pulled it up. But the reason that we're going to be meeting up, which is so exciting, I absolutely cannot wait. Oh, here it is. Hello. May 27th. That's a
Saturday, I think?
Yes. May 27th, it's a Saturday from 11 to 5, is Brienne's grand opening of the Moon and Yarn Craft Room.
How
so
exciting.
We wanted to come on here and just tell all about it. This is her post on Instagram. If you're not following the Moon and Yarn, it's, Moon and Yarn Craft Room on Instagram, all one word. She has the details posted about the grand opening and everything. She also has a ton of, like, preview of what kind of merchandise she's going to have there. There's going to be Lock Knits project bags. She's going to be having all kinds of yarns for knitting, crocheting, things like that. But the main focus of the type of yarn that she's bringing in is all yarn that you can weave with. So she's going to be doing really in-depth, like, classes, projects, sort of like group workshops, I guess is the word that I was looking for, about weaving, spinning, things like that. And she's lined up a few, I almost just said guest spots. No, wrong industry. What's it called? That's
Pop-ups?
Pop-ups. Oh my God, yes. Pop-ups. So she's lined up some pop-ups. I do know one pop-up that is for sure going to be happening is Rainbow Cake Cat.
Oh,
I know, what a honey. So Megan is Rainbow Cake Cat on Instagram. They do a ton of spinning, like, she has a wheel, so it's all like spun on a wheel, hand spun yarn that's great for weaving, a lot of varied yarn weights. She does yarn dyeing, like all kinds of stuff, and it's all very like pastel, happy, cutesy colors.
I wonder if she'll be at the grand opening, because you know what, I've never met her in person, and like I've interacted with her online, and I'd like to.
Yes, I just tattooed her this weekend. She is going to be there, and she is looking forward to meeting you. Friendship.
Lots of new friends.
Lots of new friends. So we wanted to make sure that, like, you guys know about that. If you are in the Pittsburgh area, or even vaguely in the Pittsburgh area, make the trip out. Come see us. Come hang out with us. Bring your girl a bottle of champagne. It is no joke to open a small business in any capacity, but especially like right now. It's just really difficult, but this has been like Brienne's life dream, her life's work, you know what I mean? So it's important to us that we make the trek out there. So if we can make our way out there, you can too.
Yeah, stop by, come party with us.
Stop by, come party. I believe that Gail is making pastries that are shaped like yarn balls.
Get there before I eat them all.
I'm gonna eat them. So yeah, that's really important to us. That's something that's coming up. And for that reason, we will not be podcasting because we will have just gotten back from Pittsburgh. So we're not doing that again. That's happening today. And I just don't have the stones to do it again. Oh, good morning. Hello.
Honestly, I could use the time to work on some stuff anyways.
Yeah, seriously.
I just want to say that Tater touched my butt just moments ago. What? I felt it. I don't know, through the chair. She touched me, and I said, "What is that?"
It's the cat.
It's Miss Lady.
Look at this chunky monkey. Oh my God, she's so sticky. This is my cat Tater. If it's your first episode, she's a star.
She's a
Comes up
star.
lot. She doesn't want anything to do with me until I'm participating in something that's just for me, you know?
When I've stepped by a few times without you, she has been extremely lovey, like letting me really pet her up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just about to like text you and say, wow, I can't believe how sweet Tater's being right now.
Mm-hmm.
Then she bit me.
That's Tater.
She was like consistently sweet until I acknowledged it, and then she's like, got ya. And I said,
Yeah.
whatever, bad cat, I'm leaving.
Look at this baby. But yeah, so that's really exciting. That's on the list of things in front of me that I wanted to talk about. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about before we get into the actual, like, what we're wearing, finished objects, blah, 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 like all that stuff. I've consistently forgotten to share the projects that are coming in for the Prickly Stitch. What do you, get away from my biscuits. If we titled our episode, this one would be Get Away From My Biscuits. I wanted to share the projects that are coming in for the make-along that we on the Prickly Stitch are hosting. It is the Fresh Fiber Make-Along. Oh, no. Sorry, can't type. Fat fingers. Fresh Fiber MAL. So, if you are new, the gist of this make-along, any fiber, sewing, weaving, spinning, crocheting it, whatever. The premise is to knit with a material, or knit, oh my god, I just got done saying that. Make something with a material that is new to you. So if you are a knitter and you've been like Mary Superwash for the last however long, try some cotton, try some linen, work with something that you haven't used before, make something new, like challenge yourself. Other than that, there's really not a lot of like parameters or anything. Am I missing anything?
Just try something new and tell us how you feel about it.
Yeah, it could be a failure. It could be the most wonderful thing in the world. I don't know, I'm not your mom. But I wanted to share some of the projects and posts that have been coming in on Instagram. There is a, oh my gosh, there's a new one here that I have not seen yet. Yeah.
What is she working with?
So this is Lana.Lasher. She says, I made the Pure Innocence shawl by Bag O' Day Crochet. I don't know. While participating in the Fresh Fiber Make-Along. Oh, so Lana has worked with wool for the first time, but it is her first time crocheting with wool.
Oh, there you go.
So she says, it took a while for my fingers to get used to. The texture was was very unpleasant and like to get caught on every single callus on my hands. But I'm excited to have a cute shawl to wear whenever I go somewhere cold, because this Floridian hellscape has begun the solid 90-degree weather already this year. This is the kind of response that we're looking for.
Yeah.
Like, give us the nitty-gritty. Tell us all about it. So this is her project.
That's beautiful.
It's so gorgeous. I want to show one of the, like, look at that. Look how fun that is. This is just so sweet. It reminds me of like a crochet, like texture, almost like a sampler blanket. But that's very new. She just posted that less than a day ago. That's amazing. Another one that's been on my purview is by Two Rivers Knitting. They're making, where's the name here? I think this is the new pattern by Jessie May.
Could be.
Maybe that's why. I don't know. But this is organic cotton. And Two Rivers Knitting wrote, I've enjoyed working with yarn, and it's surprising that this isn't too heavy or hard on my hands. So that's a nice little surprise, but look at that. Also, what a nice photo.
Yeah.
Just the reality of like the work in progress. Pull it all up on your needles, throw it on a rock, take a nice picture. Bada bing, bada boom. This one, I am so excited to see the progress on that. Look at that.
Oh, dear.
Knits by Anne is making the pressed flowers shawl, which, like, if you are on the internet at all, you know what the pressed flowers shawl is. And oh my good golly goodness, check this out. Reminds me of a light bright. So cute. Yeah. Oh, this is, the black is a plain, like, DK yarn.
Okay.
The contrast color is ultraviolet unicorn plush Paca, which I assume is some sort of alpaca blend. So maybe that's the new to them
Oh,
fiber.
there we go.
It's pretty awesome.
What a fun combination.
Right? And then the last one I want to share about is actually one that I've sent you.
Yeah.
And I, with some expletives, I said, look at this meatball that someone made for the make-along. Mrs. McKinnon wrote, it's not perfect, but I just finished the Passionville poof for my sister, and this was her first time working with wool, and look at this absolute beefer.
I love all the people being brave to try wool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. I would have figured that people have already tried like some form of wool or something. But this looks like that absolutely massive, like unspun single ply. So fun. And I sent this to you and you said, I've been looking for something like that. That's the whole point of the make along, my dude.
I have a poof for your feet. Mm-hmm. And it's like a black gray, and since I redecorated the whole room, it doesn't go.
Yeah.
So I thought, like, why buy a new one? Can't I just make a poof cover? And I couldn't find one, and like, I don't know how to crochet, like, but I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole and see if I can figure it out.
So much fun. So much fun. So yeah, just wanted to share a couple things.
Yeah.
This is an Instagram only make along, but again, pretty fast and loose with the rules. We did have some people reach out to us in an email to send us some prizes. If you are someone who makes something or sells something, sorry, your black light's on and it's driving me crazy, or backlight. If you are someone who makes something, if you're a yarn dyer or a bag maker, whatever you do, it doesn't matter, and you would like to donate some prizes that we're going to give away at the end of this, which is at the end of July, please shoot us an email, pricklystitchpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll get you a mailing address. There should be, in the next couple of weeks, some prizes coming in the mail, and I would like to share about them just on the podcast, so you guys can have an idea of some of the things that are coming in, and we have some stuff to talk about today for that, too.
Very exciting.
Bada bing, bada boom. What are you wearing?
Oh.
Who is she?
Who is she? What is her name? So I am wearing my, let me just give a little tap just in case it would help. Oh, it doesn't. I am wearing my two-fold cowl that I finished. This is my, object for the Fresh Fiber Make-Along. So this is made out of Black Welsh Mountain.
Oh my gosh.
I put it on so I could take it off and show you because it's kind of fussy. So I love the fiber. Mm-hmm. I will say that I don't think anybody that I know would love this fiber.
For something next to skin.
For something next to skin. But I have been wearing it, and I would say on my personal, prickle scale, it is a 3 out of 10 discomfort, which, I don't feel like I need to move it. I don't feel like I need to scratch, and it doesn't make me red, which, my skin is very fair. So, if I'm gonna get itchy and red, it would be very obvious. But it really doesn't bother me at all. No problems. I'm aware that there is a tooth to this yarn, and I would say that's as far as that goes with it, So I'm glad that it ended up being a practical fabric for me to actually wear. The fact that it doubles up is really nice. So in the winter, it will create a really nice added layer, almost windproof.
Oh, absolutely. Especially as you wear it, those fibers are gonna...
Right. I'm really looking forward to it felting a little bit. What else? I did seam it up the middle here.
That part is beautiful.
You like that part?
I love a good ribbing, just to add to the shape, to really draw your eye, where
gives
it
a little structure to it also.
For sure.
I'm very grateful this yarn has no stitch definition. You can't tell that my seaming.
It's nice. That's what it's all about.
Weird.
That's a pro of this type of fiber.
Right. But I'm really into the color of it. I did experience some bags of Black Welsh Mountain when I was in the fleece barn, and I'm like, this feels
That's nice that you're
awful.
seeing it again.
Yeah. So I, am appreciating how soft this is compared to how it could feel.
Yeah.
And also the other fleeces I found were darker than this. So I think this was just maybe an uncoated fleece. So it got a little bit more sun bleaching than some others might have.
Special. I love that.
Yeah, so the only thing I don't like about this is that it's a little fussy to wear. So
Which is from the pattern, not the yarn, right?
Not the yarn,
okay.
No. I acknowledge it could be my gauge with this yarn because it is hand spun, maybe something happened and I got more like width out of, because you knit it in a big strip like a scarf and then you seam it into a big circle. And I like when a cowl sits kind of stacked, close to my neck, but I don't like having a ton of bulk back here because then like air's touching my neck and I'm not into that.
That doesn't make any sense.
So I will show you. Oh God, hold on. So this is how it turned out, lengthwise, very big, like infinity style. And when I go to just throw it on, you might see what I'm talking about, where it's just a little limp and long, you know? Like it just is very fussy to get on without like seeing my shoulder through the gaps.
Yeah, I watched you put it on and it did seem like it took more effort than maybe the type of person you are would want.
Right, like I just want it to be almost, like if I could get it to like be fixed to like one lumpy triangular shape, I would. So I'm considering my options for that. I'm thinking I will either try to felt it a little bit so everything tightens up, or I was even thinking about folding this area in, like the top part, and like seaming it so that there's more structure at the top.
You know what else could help too, if you're, just because I think that you have one of these laying around your house, but I'm not sure if you do, even if you got one of those.
Yeah, that's a really good idea too.
#fashion.
Just trying to find a way to wear it where like my neck isn't exposed, because that's the point. Right. So I would definitely consider that if you're going to make this pattern. It does look like it's a little looser in the pattern too, but I don't swatch, so it might just be a me thing. If I had made this out of a yarn with a lot of drape, like an alpaca, a cotton, or a superwash,
it would have
something
been
that would have stretched,
unwearable.
I would deem it useless.
Yeah.
But because this is something that I think will get smaller over time, I'm not too upset with it.
I wonder if you could even like, this would be bold and this would be brave, but I wonder if you could like throw it in the dryer for 2 minutes at a time.
I was going to, I think, as for felting, because
I didn't know if you wanted to do like the wet felting, kind of like scrunchy.
I don't got time for that.
No, no one does.
And it's like wide enough, and it does double up, so even if it shrinks this way a little bit too.
I also wonder how this is going to be impacted when you have a coat.
I tried to wear it with a coat, and the way it is right now, it's too much. It's a little too much. Like, it has to sit on top of the coat, which is fine. Like, it has to go over the shoulders.
Yeah.
Which I am fine with that, but I would just like it to be a little bit tighter. So,
yeah,
I'm going to experiment with what I want to do with that. It's too hot today. I don't need to wear this. I really only wore this for you guys.
Yeah.
But that is my two-fold cowl. I'm
That's
very excited with it. I love this fiber. I'm probably one of the few people that...
Obviously people do, or else it would be like unsellable, you know?
There were not a lot of this breed.
Well, I can't imagine there's a lot of those sheep kicking around in terms of like...
Right. I think
what we need that wool for now.
They're underrepresented, these little guys. Of
course, yeah.
But I'm very happy with this piece. I like having a nice little breed-specific piece. It's like a little learning tool kind of in and of itself.
Would you buy either this fleece or this yarn again? Like, would you knit with this again?
I would definitely knit with it again.
Okay.
I don't know what I would want to make if I knit it again. If I was gonna knit with this yarn again, I would probably try to make something that's an outerwear piece, like more of a jacket or like a thick cardigan. Just again, because the yarn is pretty...
I feel like a vest would look really cute in that.
I feel like a vest could be cute, especially if it were like a
just very plain
bigger vest that like is, you have to wear something under it. I know a lot of people just wear like vests as tank tops.
Bold move.
But yeah, I would work with this again. I would not make a hat out of this because this area is very sensitive for me anyways.
Okay.
I could see, I know you mentioned slippers. I think slippers would be good. Mitts might be good depending on the person. I know wrists can be kind of sensitive.
Yeah. Leg warmers?
Over pants, absolutely. I wouldn't do like the leg warmers over tights, but if you're like, you know, you live somewhere cold and you're going
or you have to like do labor outside or something.
I think
like
they would survive that very well.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd actually ever want to spin with this fiber. It really was unpleasant on the hands.
Yeah.
It just was.
Yeah, that's the point of the make along.
I love this, and I am so glad that I wasn't like full of myself and thinking that the prickle wouldn't affect me, because it genuinely doesn't, which is nice, because I was ready to like wear it for a day and then be like, oh,
yes,
I'm a fool.
Yes. Yes.
But it turned out really nice for me. Very
that.
happy with it. I actually still have a skein left, which I'll probably throw into like color work or something at some point. But
give something some structure.
that is my finished object. Haven't had one in a minute.
Did it feel good to get some off the needles?
Yes, it did. And I feel like just that, plus the festival, I've really been making a dent in like some things I'm working on and like getting back into a place of like getting ready to start new things, or at least having a plan is nice.
That's awesome.
The illusion of progress, at least.
That's all we need.
What are you wearing?
I am wearing something that's already been on the podcast, but it is styled a little differently today. This is the orbital jumper. What is, oh my god, I don't know, can you tell that I'm like a straight up space cadet today?
Well, you've been through a lot this weekend.
I really have. Ronti.studio. Okay. Also, just real quick, I would like to point out the fact that Ronti Studio is either testing or is going to be releasing this pattern. Goodness gracious. Incredible work of art. But yeah, this is the orbital jumper by Ronti Studio. I will show up how I am wearing today if I can escape this trap I've made for myself. Haha, here we are. So this is a dress from Forever 21 that Sock gave me a while ago. It is pretty plain, like little overall style dress, and I just threw this bad boy on top of it.
That looks so cute.
And it's cute, you know, little something, but it's probably maybe like mid to upper 60s today where we're at. So I was looking for something a little airier to wear, and this is absolutely like a layering piece, and Sock had said, why don't you try that sweater with this dress, and that's been kicking around the back of my mind as like a little fashion option, but I've been waiting for the weather to cooperate or be even.
That looks cute and comfortable.
It is very comfortable. I'm excited to just like really start to get into wearing knits. I have a really bad habit of making them, and they live in the closet. I'm a bad lady, so I'm trying to keep it up, you know, keep up the good work.
Well, you gotta really hone in on, like, don't lie to yourself anymore about what you like to wear.
Don't do it,
you know?
Yeah. So that's what I'm wearing. I talked about this a lot on episode 3 when it was a finished object. If you're interested or you give a hoot about it, you can look at it there or on my Ravelry page, and I have fiber in my eyeball. But yeah, that's all I'm wearing today.
Very cute.
Yeah. So
what's our next order of business?
You did a finished object.
Yep.
I don't have any finished objects. So that's that.
Okay. I don't think I have anything finished either. I don't even really have anything knitting to share.
Cool. I have 2 whips.
Okay, yeah.
I am at my stupid sock tube. Everyone knows my sock tube. I'm knitting a sock. It's a tube. I wanted to share my progress on my Granny Square Join As You Go blanket that I started, I think back in, it would have been in March. This was originally supposed to be for Penny. She's 9. Sock brought up the fact that these don't really wash that well, so I decided to just keep making it and make it for myself. So I've been crocheting these little tiny squares, and I really thought I would have gotten sick of it by now. But honestly, this is like all I want to work on, which is weird. I just like really thought that this would be something I would like throw in the corner of my house.
Right there, you're having fun.
I'm having a lot of fun with this. It's like kind of TV knitting, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's just something really...
You're so in a groove by now, you probably don't have to think very hard.
Yeah. So this is... Thank you for...
I'm like looking at it like through the holes. Through the mirror. That looks great.
So this is the progress I've made on it. It's about lap size now, like in that it could cover your lap. It's not like done by any means, but I want to make it a little bit longer so that it's like long enough to, you know, if you're stretching out on the couch, like just throw it over your legs or something, like a throw blanket or something that's gonna look nice on the couch.
That looks great.
Thank you. Isn't it fun? I am a patchwork lady. I love patchwork tattoos. I love patchwork quilts, and I love
color
patchwork
placement's really nice.
Thank you. I've been toiling away over the color placement, but especially with these ones, the highlighter pink. I have a highlighter pink and a highlighter like green, and it's those ones I am trying to strategically place because if they're too close together, it looks insane.
Yeah.
But this is my little pixel blanket.
It looks great. They look like little biscuits.
Thank you. It's just so fun. I honestly love it. And the only other yarn I want to show off in here is I did sneak some of my hand spun in. So you can see that this is like a little textured here, and there's some like stellina and fuzz on it and everything. And I do think that I want to, after I finish my next whip, while I'm still working on this, is going to take me a long time. While I'm still working on this, I want to spin maybe like 1 or 2 more skeins of hand spun because I think that's very special that that's in there.
Get it over here.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
It's just cute. So on the last episode, I showed some squares that were, or not some squares, some yarn that I got. I've since caked about half that yarn up, and I have a few of those squares in here, but these yarns seem to be like very woolly and nice, which is great because I have a lot of sock yarn in here that's like super smooth. So I'm glad that the yarn that just came in that I impulsively bought off of Etsy was like, you know, a little more textured, like a little toothier. There's some of this alpaca like sock blend in here that I'm excited about. So this really is like a total amalgamation of like fiber types and things like that, but
this has a nice weight to
this
it
is
too.
gonna be nice.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be a great little piece for me. So this will just be like something for on the couch, you know, a little snuggly blanket.
Yeah.
I think if I were gonna do a crochet join as you go granny square blanket again, I will make another one. I also will just buy acrylic yarn for it and make the squares a lot bigger.
It makes a lot of sense now why a lot of granny square blankets are like an acrylic bigger yarn at first, you know, because I have my feelings about wool and I love wool so deeply that it was always a little like off-putting to me to like have an acrylic blanket, but like now I get why, and I'm really grateful. Like, 'cause my grandmother, I'm gonna insert a picture. Grandma,
you should.
My grandma crocheted me and my boyfriend blankets for Christmas, and they're out of acrylic, and I'm like really grateful that they are because I like love it, and it's just easy to take care of, and it's so beautiful.
We still had in my like childhood home, they are still there. We still have blankets that my great grandmother crocheted that are chevron.
Yeah.
I can like remember like the color scheme of them, like, and they hold up over time. So like shit on acrylic if you will, but quite frankly, like that is the closest to like an heirloom blanket that like you're really gonna get unless you're like babying something and like hanging it on a wall. But if you want to like interact with and experience like a crochet blanket in all of its glory, acrylic's the way to go.
Yeah.
And I will say honestly, we've been spending a lot of time, you and I, in Joann fabrics now because of like the sewing and the quilting and stuff like that. And I am very inspired by like those big skeins of yarn, like the big chunky like pound of love things or whatever. But the colors that are starting to come out on those are spectacular. Like I was thinking about this skein that I saw there. It was one of those giant ones, and it was like nuclear neon, like electric blue.
Ooh.
And then there was like an emerald one beside it and a pale pink. And like, I just feel like after this one's done, I would like to go to a place like Joann Fabrics or Michael's or like somewhere where I can get big quantities of this yarn and just kind of hold them together and like make a fun color palette, you know? And just kind of like build that in the store and just carry them home and say, here's my next project, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really liking this. I love the process. I'm a big fan of the join as you go. It's extremely motivating. I think part of the reason why I'm so like unable to put this down is because I do like the idea of like, if I want to work small, I'll just make a square, throw it on the table, make another square, throw it on the table. I'll make like 10 squares, weave in all the ends real quick. Then I jump into like the bigger process where you're like throwing the blanket around and you attach them to the whole piece. And it's just like it's very engaging and like you're not stuck in one zone for too long. And if you get bored of one thing, like do the next. It's just really nice.
That is nice.
Yeah. So
why do you have this project?
this is just a fun thing. I wanted to share it last time, but I really do, like, this is not anything that's ever gonna, like, leave my living room. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's very cumbersome to, like, have all these, like, skeins of yarn everywhere. I try to, like, wrangle them, but then Nate comes over and I'm like, let me hide my shame really quick because there's balls of yarn everywhere. You know what I mean? So that's a whip. That's pretty exciting. Feeling good about that. Yeah.
You could show anything else that you have knitting before we get on to other things.
I have my entry for the make along that I finally cast on. So I cast this on and then immediately left for the weekend. So there's not a lot of progress on it. But I started the Mount Pleasant tee. It is the Mount Pleasant tee, not the Mount Pleasant top, by Pip and Pin. I talked about this on the last episode. I did my swatch for it. Oh, look at all this detail, my black on black. I am making this out of linen, Euroflax wet spun linen that I had 2 skeins of in my stash. I don't know if there's a chance in hell that you're going to be able to see it.
You lift like one layer up against your white background, maybe?
Yeah, it's hard because it's like rolling over itself. Oh, there we go. Look at that. So this is a feather and fan style lace pattern at the very bottom. It's bottom up t-shirt, pretty simple lace, like pretty small shirt. Like it's not a very involved project. I don't think it's going to take me long once I'm past the lace portion. So cast this on, get the hardest part out of the way, that little lace repeat. There's only about 20, it's either 20 or 30 like rows of lace before you move on to the body, and I'm like over halfway through it and I've only worked on it for like 2 days. It's very, very easy lace. I was like watching TV while I was working on this.
That's great.
I don't notice any ouch factor like in my hands while I'm knitting with the linen. I do notice, I think it's the weight of it like in my wrists, and
That
that's
makes sense.
kind of like after a few rows, like it starts to like not hurt. It's just like I'm very aware of the weight of it, but in terms of like how it feels, you know, like as you're working with it, totally fine. I think that this is going to be like, if this works up how I think it's going to, I may be like #1 linen lady.
That's very exciting.
Which is exciting. Yeah, I could not.
You need that. You need like a...
It feels good.
Yeah.
I'm very, very like team cotton. I think cotton is like a wonderful, beautiful thing that I really enjoy working with. And linen is like cotton's moodier, complicated, like cool older sister, you know what I mean? It's like, I need a little more from you.
Linen also seems, now I don't have like linen knit objects, but I have like knit linen clothes, and it seems to have like a little bit more like toughness to
durability,
it, which is nice.
Are you wearing a linen skirt?
This is a linen skirt. This one is a linen poly blend.
Oh, okay.
My other ones are like all
True
100% linen. This one is a poly blend for whatever reason. But I do, like, I am that
You own
person.
linen garments.
Yeah, I have multiple linen garments, and like they can be a little bit more transparent than cotton, but like they have like a nice texture. I don't know, like a tough texture to them.
Yeah. Stable.
But they're very breathable and nice.
Yeah.
Big linen energy.
So I'm glad to see where this is gonna go. I'm really enjoying working on it. I think, like I said, once I get to the body, I'm gonna just zoom on it. It's all stockinette. Once the, you know, I presume that you're gonna get up to like the split for the front and back. Once that's done, I mean, the project is essentially over. There's like no sleeves at all. It's like an insanely small cap sleeve. And I'm also excited about experimenting with the fit of this t-shirt, because since I've made that high-waisted skirt and I have just been wearing a lot more like dresses and things like that, which I don't really know what to like chalk that up to, but this could be something that I could see myself knitting over and over again.
Yeah.
In slightly different yarns, like maybe a gray one, maybe like do some striping or something. It would look good with like speckles, you know what I mean? Like could be
Like
be
a
cool.
staple item.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different interpretations as I'm looking on the project pages on Ravelry of people who are wearing it with no ease, people with positive ease, people with like a little bit of negative. Like it's totally different, but I could see even like a slightly oversized one that kind of hangs off the shoulder like this.
Yeah, like a nice boxy.
Yeah. Like a short sleeve version of basically like what I'm wearing right now.
Yeah.
Like just a little loosey-goosey, which I like because I'm very like about stuff touching me. So just in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my whip. That's the entry for the make along. I hope to get a really nice whip photo of it, like outdoors or something, as I move like past the lace and into the body, because I really do want to like share the sheen and like the texture of the yarn before I wash it and get some sort of like progress photos of like how the yarn is aging, because I'm very curious about that like over time. But it really is just like a beautiful little piece, so hopefully get some good pictures. I'm gonna spend some time working on that now that I see like how easy that lace is and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Glad you're having a good time.
that's my biz. I am too.
Knitting.
That's the point of it all, you know.
Yeah.
So those are whips. I don't have like a ton. I don't have a ton of other stuff to say.
That's all right. That's all for like knitting.
Yeah, that's all I got. Come on, just fucking leave me alone. Everyone this weekend was like, "Did they say pop and Nipa?" And I was like, "No." They torment me mercilessly.
You say pop, and I'm like,
You want
you
pop?
mean ginger ale?
Ugh, yeah.
It's only pop I drink. Anyways, speaking of pop off.
This episode was too normal. We had to like jazz it up with like you saying weird shit. And now you're holding your bag like a baby. Tell me, yeah, who is this last?
So because we're all experiencing the current state of the world, I had like a very strict budget at Maryland.
You almost always, in all fairness, like you almost always have some sort of budget. This is not new.
Right. A lot of times my budget is more or less based off of like not bringing home stuff.
Yeah.
But this time it was like, we have to have gas to get home. You know what I mean? So I was like, anyways, so I told myself that after I bought my fleece, which was like the main like purpose of me going, I was gonna allow myself, if I wanted to bring home one sweater's quantity of like a rustic worsted weight wool, which I did not bring home, but I decided to take that about $100 or so and treat myself to this bag I found. So I do have rules when I buy project bags, because I'm weird and like apply all of these rules to my life for some reason. If I'm going to buy a project bag, it pretty much has to be both different from anything I already own, and it can't be something that like Haley can just make for me, or like is something in the vein of stuff that you make, because that would be silly to, you know.
Yeah, like I
it
can
would
just make
be
it for
silly.
you.
Like we have just like an infinite access of bags. But I thought this was really interesting. So this bag is by a maker called, I don't know like if it's their business or their handle, but it's Cottontail Farms. That's actually the name of the fabric. So this is Harrisville tweed. Is like this kind of, touch it, you would hate the texture, but
No, for a bag, that's fantastic.
right. The color is what caught my eye, because I'm going through this like dishwater muted brown awakening where I am implementing more like natural tones into my wardrobe, mostly because I've been really into like natural wools for knitting, and I like just want a more cohesive look for all of that. I saw this bag and all of them were like one of a kind. There wasn't like a match of this and this like in doubles or anything. Nothing was repeated. So I picked it up and I couldn't put it down, and I just said, you know what, I need this bag because this looks like a classy ladies bag that I could also use as like a purse or something, which is nice because a lot of times project bags look kind of like kitschy and juvenile, so like they don't really go with like outfits a lot of the time. So it has like these soft leather straps, which is nice, and then it has this Harrisville tweed, a nice canvas bottom, which I think might even be like a waxed canvas, which is nice. Oh, the name is right on there, Cottontail Farm. But they had like a lot of bags. They really must hustle as a human being. And then inside it's just like plain canvas with two big deep pockets. And then I've moved my Stria into here, since this is currently my only knitting project I have, and I haven't worked on it, but you know what? I did put the needles in the second sleeve. So I don't have anything else that I can work on, and I'm not going to let myself cast anything on until I've at least hit the body.
What are these?
What are those? Those are my needle stoppers.
Who do these guys think they are?
I don't know.
Where do you keep getting these?
I just bought these in the strawberry ones because, you know, I just wanted some. I needed some.
They're little girls wearing pajamas.
I think they're called by like, that's not a sentence. I think they were from a shop on Etsy called Couture Creations or Creation Couture, some combination of those words.
Look up those words plus needle stoppers on Etsy.
Right, they'll come right up. But I haven't worked on it, but it's ready to be worked on, and it's in my new power bag.
Yeah, if that's not motivating, I don't know what is.
I just think this is like so stinking cute.
That's very sweet. You don't have a bag this high of quality, do you? I didn't think so.
No, the closest thing I have to like a really like high quality bag, I would say would probably be, what is that? You like their bags too. You have the one. What is that? You have like a Halloween-y bag that you really like?
Woodsy and Wild.
Woodsy and Wild. I have a Woodsy and Wild bag, which is nice because it has a zipper and I have a dog, so like, say no more. I like all the hardware on it because I like being able to like clip it onto other stuff. So like I'd say these are probably the two most like durable and
you'll have that
expensive bags.
Like, yeah, you'll have that till you're dead.
Yeah. So just wanted to share that while we were finishing up knitting.
That's awesome.
And real quick, I will mention.
Oh my god, you and the fucking baskets.
That's good. My spinning basket.
You're so cottage lady.
You know what? I'm living my truth.
You are.
I don't have any time to not. But I have been working on some hand spinning. I don't know if I've shown this at all. Let me find my little spot. So this is just a little hand spinning I've been doing. Let me see if I can get it visible. Show mommy. Whatever, you get the idea. You get the idea. But the fiber is a 80% Polworth and 20% silk. So the colorway is aubergine, and it is created by LCB. I'm gonna get fiber in all of our drinks. Just forgive me.
How fun!
But it's so pretty. I bought a few of these impulsively years ago before I even was spinning. And I just really love the quality of this fiber.
Blend of whatever's happening here. My goodness.
A lot of moody colors this dyer has, but this has just been really fun to work with. Really easy to work with.
Yeah.
I'd imagine it's the Polworth, you know. But it pretty much wants to spin itself. If I wasn't like spinning so fine, like so thin, it'd be super easy, but
yeah,
I'm a knucklehead and that's what I do. But yeah, just working on that. I did split this up by weight, and I have the other half put away. So I'll do whatever's in this basket, set it to the side, do the other one, and then I'll have 2 plies ready to go. I don't know how long that'll take me, but I feel more inspired to try to get on with the spinning.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
I also want to get quite a bit of practice in before I
was just
get to the fleece.
I was just gonna say we should have another spinning wheel date.
Yeah.
Maybe like the next time we podcast, maybe we'll plan to do that the rest of the day.
I really want to. I want to spin that that thing you got me, that baby.
Yes.
I don't know what braid. That baby you got me.
The challah.
I don't know what that word means. I'm not gonna say it again.
It's a bread. It's a special. But it's a braided bread anyway. Yes.
But yeah, I do want to spin on the wheel again. But it's been nice. I just to just sit and watch TV and like spin a couple yards by hand while I'm hanging out. But yeah, that's my spinning. I don't know, do you want me to just...
I don't have anything except for the little thing I gave you that I want to talk about.
Okay.
So, crotch fiber.
Crotch fiber. Locally sourced.
Local.
Here it is.
If you have seen on my Instagram, I have Lock Knits totes. So cute. I'm really, really gonna try to get these tote bags in my Etsy shop by the time this podcast is out. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do it. These are, in my opinion, pretty high quality tote bags.
Yeah.
They're like a nice woven tote, screen printed goodness on the front. If you recognize this picture, you may have seen this as like our de facto like logo for the make along, the fresh fiber make along. But I'm gonna have these for sale in my Etsy shop, and we're also going to be including these in the prizes for the make along. So this is going to be paired with like maybe some yarn or some like other goodies that we're going to have, but you could win this if you enter our make along on Instagram. I'm going to have these, like I said, for sale in my Etsy shop. These are extremely limited quantity. I think I only have like maybe 20 or so to list in my shop. Like there's not a lot. I did just take these to the convention. I sold a few this weekend, and I've honestly just never made or sold totes, so I didn't know how that was going to go, but people think they're cute. Ha ha ha.
That is super cute.
So if there is like any way that they sell out or something, I'll probably get more printed. I've got like the good hookup on the print situation out here in NEPA, so yeah, I'm very excited to have these. It's been a long time since I've had like truly new merch. You know, you do pins and stickers, and like we do a lot of the same things just kind of over and over again, which is really fun. But this is like hella practical, you know what I mean? Like who wouldn't want one of these, in my opinion? But yeah, they're pretty big, they're pretty nice, they're pretty cute.
It's a great bag. Good for festivals.
Good for festivals. Or like go to the grocery store and put a bunch of onions in it. I don't know.
Go to the flea market. I really wish I had a tote for the flea market.
Now you do.
I do. I just have my quilt blocks to share.
Oh, wait. You did your March quilt block?
I did March and April.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, it's May.
We're in May.
Dude, I'm so excited.
I was slacking. So this is the one that I made for March.
Stop this.
I know you don't see, so I have to flash you too.
So cute. Let me be.
Leave me be. No, I meant like you haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I thought you meant like you can't see.
No.
I love this.
So yeah, just doing that. And then this one is my April, which this one's like very Sailor Jupiter to me on accident.
Oh, yes.
I thought I was like, this is a gross combination. But as I put it together, I'm like, I wish I had a whole quilt that were these colors. So these are my children. That one came out kind of wonky. I don't know what was going on. I thought I was doing better with my like applying these, but I think I just like messed up on my seam allowances a little bit because the corners are really kind of flattening out,
you know,
the points.
How you're never gonna notice these once it's quilted? Haha. That'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. So
these look so sweet. Let's try to hold them up in like the order here. Oh, Saki.
I'm gonna do something real weird here, okay?
No, I'm following.
Hang on.
Oh, look at these. You're gonna have to do another lighter one in the next couple of months so that the light comes like down here.
Well, so if I was following, like, I have to figure out how I want to lay them out.
Oh, I thought you were doing them in order.
I was going to, but now I'm like, oh, so like my next one should be gray, but if I do that, it'll be gray under gray, so then the next one would have to be just like a solid dark color, and I don't have any.
May have to just reassess the plan.
I'll insert a picture too, because I had them laid out on the ground, and I took just a quick picture so I could put in, but I'm also thinking what I'll probably do, because I was also considering the size of 12 of these. I'll probably put like strips of another color. I'm thinking maybe like a dark gray with like a small busy print with like little kisses of like something very similar to this fabric, but maybe darker.
Like lower contrast.
Like less noticeable, but in between each of these blocks too, and that'll make it like a little bit bigger. But I don't know, these are just fun. It's a nice way like this. Like I would have never put these fabrics together because the way my brain works, this isn't like something I would assume would be attractive
I don't know, man. I
But
love it.
seeing it together, I really like. So this is like a nice little experiment and getting me to like leave my comfort zone because it's just one block. Who cares, you know? But it's been nice doing these things. I was slacking a little bit. I was slouching on it, but you know, I'll have to do May's ASAP.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully I have it for our next podcast. But that's all I have, you know. I've just been trying to chip away at all the projects that I've started or, you know, haven't woven in ends on.
Right. All of that stuff.
So just chipping away at all that fun jazz. But that's all I have. That's everything. Do you want to flash our bird mugs?
Yeah, I think that it's interesting. These are left-handed mugs.
Yeah.
Different.
Well, I mean, I don't really care because when I'm drinking from a mug, I want to see it. But, like, I guess if you're, like, on TV. So I got these little chickens and she got a little goose.
Honk.
I just think they're, like, so stupid.
You got these from Maryland Sheep and Wool.
Yeah.
I love them.
I just think they're so silly.
These are like, the smoothness is like,
something, I don't know, it does something weird to my brain.
feels good, man.
A lot of my mugs I have a lot of, like, texture and, like, tactile things to grab, and this is, like, the first smooth mug I've ever bought.
When we live in our strawberry house together, we can just get a smooth cauldron to make perpetual soup in.
Yeah. Oh, I just bought, like, this, like, vintage casserole dish from the flea market.
Yeah, you did. Of course you did.
Oh, I'll show you a picture later, but
I'll
it's, like,
show
beautiful and brown, and I'm like, Ian, if we buy this, I can fill it with buffalo chicken dip. And he's like, you should get it. You know, and it was like $4 or something, and then I looked it up online, and they, like, sell for $40.
Oh,
But it's beautiful. It kind of looks like tater, actually.
Tater!
Yeah, I
Horrible
love my
creature.
ceramics.
I don't know. I think we're done now
It's
because
time to wrap it up.
Tater is screaming.
She's gonna start biting.
Jesus Christ. All right, yeah, thanks for hanging. We'll see you in approximately around about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Please go to Bree's grand opening. She is the light of our life.
Well, I'll be there. Everyone.
Everyone. All right, that's it.
Bye.
Bye.